Our form has been a little bit erratic at the start of this new season, and today is the day that we need to turn it around, get a couple of wins, and firmly insert ourselves into the European picture. Hello and welcome to part 161 of Backing the Boro. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have two Premier League games for you, two winnable Premier League games as well. We're away against Bournemouth and at home against Norwich. Since you were last with me, this is what's been going on. So we've kind of won the games you'd expect us to win, lost the games you'd expect us to lose. I guess the one exception to that is Stoke and 0-0 draw at home that we probably should have won, but we lost to Arsenal. We were supposed to lose to Arsenal. We beat Blackburn. We beat Bolton. By the way, a Bolton team who are down in League Two but have Ali Afsharian in their team. So this is Ali Afsharian, age 29. It didn't really work out for him after he left us. I think it is a little bit harsh on him that he's plying his trade down in League Two now, because really, at every level he's been at, he's scored goals. He scored goals in the Championship for both Millwall and for us and for Reading. He scored goals for them in League One as well. And he even scored goals for us in the Premier League, 7 and 11. But for whatever reason, no one seems to rate him and give him enough of a chance. So he's a League Two player now, age 29, which is a bit of a shame. But we laboured our way past Bolton. Did get knocked out of the Carabao Cup by Chelsea in the next round, though. So it's already, and it's only September, it's already a two-competition season. We've got an FA Cup that we'll obviously try and win again. But really, this whole season at this early stage is just about the Premier League. We're never going to get a better opportunity to throw ourselves 100% into getting that Champions League finish, which has got to be the goal, really. What is this, our 5th season in the Premier League? I think we've got a squad that's capable of sneaking in. Blackburn snuck in last year. I think we can do a Blackburn this year. So this is the team that we've got to take on Bournemouth. We've got Vucic in goal, a back four of Joksimovic, Ripert, Ferguson and Coupler, with Wanda, Caminero and Rodrigo in midfield, and Erhan in behind Kerr and Jones. Nuhu has been injured. He is fit enough to be on the bench today, but he's pretty much got injured immediately. Where's the one that showed? Oh, there you go. There you go. He pretty much got injured immediately after the last game that you saw him in. And I think that's part of the reason why we've been a little bit erratic to start the season. Both Erhan and Nuhu have been injured. So we've been playing with Jim McAllister as our attacking midfielder, who, although he doesn't ever let us down, he's also nothing spectacular. I think having both Erhan and Nuhu available for us today should mean that we've got a little bit more attacking oomph. Charlie Jones is scoring at more than a goal a game so far this season, so that's positive. He's also scored his first goal for England as well. Kieran Kerr has started the season as if... What is that? That looks like a Dr. Benji creation. Goodness me. Hi, Ben. Kieran Kerr started the season as if he's forgotten that he'd actually turned into a half-decent Premier League striker last season. He was linked with a £40 million move to Chelsea in the summer. I would be surprised if he could get a £4 million move to someone who's not Chelsea, based on the form he's been in so far. But hopefully he'll wake up at some point. Perhaps he needs an Erhan or a Nuhu behind him to create chances for him, whereas Jones is more of your typical Kev striker, hard-working, running, strong, creates a lot for himself, and could probably quite comfortably play up front on his own. Isn't really creating anything for Kerr, and if there's not much for Kerr coming from behind him either, I guess it is difficult for Kerr to then weigh in with goals of his own. But Rodrigo plays it forward towards Jones. Jones out towards Kerr. He beats his man and fires just over. That looked a little bit more promising from Kerr. Hopefully he has woken up. I do worry a little bit that part of Kerr's kind of nothing form so far this season is the fact that he might view it as he's not really got any competition for places now. I know we've signed Flynn, but he's 34. We've got the two young Serbians as well, but he's lost his actual experienced Premier League competition, the likes of Jensen and Nogueira and Traco even. There was a lot of highly paid Premier League experienced strikers knocking around the club that were forcing Kerr to play well to stay in the side, whereas now maybe we need to drop him for a few games. Perhaps give Flynn or one of the Serbian lads a little run in the team just to show Kerr that he's not a guaranteed starter. He does need to earn his place in the team. And we're 1-0 down against a team playing, quite frankly, a ridiculous formation that shouldn't be allowed. And now I've swallowed my coffee down the wrong... I've got a lung full of coffee at the moment. Oh, it's all going wrong. I wonder if the right way to counter this back three with one in front is for us to push forward and actually have a proper three strikers. We haven't done that for like a season now. If we concede again, it's absolutely what we're going to be doing. Or if it looks like we're not creating anything, but just stick three strikers up against their three centre-backs and just put them under proper pressure that way might be the route to breaking down this weird-looking Bournemouth. I've never seen a formation like that by an AI manager. It is the sort of thing that you see on what's that website called where you go and get tactics from. It's the sort of thing you see on there with 18 player instructions and a fixture thing that shows that they've won every game 8-0 for 4 years. And did we just score, by the way? Ripert's just scored. Excellent stuff. From a set piece as well. Rodrigo floats it in. Ferguson heads towards goal. It's parried into the path of Ripert. And just before half-time, it is 1-1. And I guess that's not too bad, considering Bournemouth are presumably playing a cheat formation. I've decided they are cheating. They're in again, and Ripert is there to clear. He looked like he was a man over in the middle there, which is weird, because they are playing 3 attacking players. It's really the midfield that we should be absolutely controlling, but for whatever reason, we're not. I guess they've looked at our system and thought, we don't need to worry about fullbacks. They don't play wide at all. So we'll just sacrifice that area and just cover the pitch with players everywhere else. It's quite a clever idea, really. Joksimovic to Kerr, across to Erhan, and Erhan does grab a goal. So 2 goals just before half-time to put us 2-1 up. Proper order of things is restored, and it did come from playing down the flanks. Joksimovic getting into a decent position, and look at all the space he was in there to just lay it off to Kerr, who's also come wide, and Erhan has just dropped into the middle to pick up the space vacated by Kerr, and that looked like an Nuneaton goal, and that's what I like to see. Jones hasn't played particularly well today, so he needs a boot up the backside to get him ready for the second half. This Bournemouth tactic does intrigue me, though. I'm interested. Not interested enough to ever try anything like that myself, because it does just look stupid. I just don't see how these 3 players in the middle aren't just on top of each other all the time. You have just 2 players out. I mean, it doesn't make sense. Someone explain it to me. I don't understand it. This is where you all tell me it would be better than the one that I use. I hope not. Right, let's grab a third. We want a third now. We want comfort. And they are, anytime they get the ball, they are just, because they're occupying completely different spaces to what we are, both us and them are getting a lot of time on the ball. There's not really much in the way of marking going on from either team. I think it's become just we're not trying to outplay each other. We're just going to play our own game in the space that we've got, and it's whichever team has enough quality to outscore the other one. That's what it feels like at the moment. Jones still not playing particularly well. I think it might be time to bring on Jokic for Charlie Jones. There you go. That's my way of showing Kerr. Look, you're not both guaranteed spots in the team. I can make changes whenever. Awanda was injured, but seems to have recovered. I am wondering, I want to get Nuhu on. Nuhu's back from injury. It feels like the time to get him back into the team. I might just bring him on for Erhan. Even though Erhan scored the goal, he hasn't played particularly well, so he's done nothing else. Let's get Nuhu on, just to get some fitness back into his legs. It's a confidence booster having Nuhu come back into the team. And then, why are we not... What's happening? The game wasn't playing. And then we just need to keep an eye on the rest of them to decide if we need to make a third change. In other transfer news, we had a £35 million offer for Brodic just before the window closed. And I was look at Nuhu. Nuhu's just brilliant. He is one of the best regens I've ever seen on Football Manager. He is just something very, very special. And I can't believe he's still an Nuneaton player. 3-1 on 80 minutes. But yeah, £35 million offer from Brodic from Borussia Mönchengladbach. And I seriously thought about it, because obviously Brodic isn't a regular starter for us now. Ripert and Ferguson has been our back two all season long so far. We've got Dayothin, is that how we say his name? Dayothin, the other guy who came in from Arsenal in the summer, who's another option for us back there. We don't necessarily need... You could argue Brodic is our fourth choice, although I would say he's our first backup. The guy from Arsenal's fourth choice, and will probably be gone by Christmas when he realises he's not had a game. But Brodic for 35 million, it was very, very tempting. I think if the transfer window had still been open, I'd have taken the money and reinvested 10 million in another defender. But because our window was closed but theirs was still open, I didn't want to go into the first half of the season with only 3 centre-backs at the club. Although Sanchez, the new right-back, can play centre-back as well. So it was something I seriously pondered for a little while. And I don't think we'll ever get a £35 million offer for Brodic again, because I would suggest he'll probably never be a regular first-teamer for us again, other than the fact that both Ferguson and Diothin are both 32, 33, whereas Brodic is 23, 24. So there's time for Brodic to come again and form a partnership with Ripert. But I think in reality, Ripert's the man. And we sign another one as good as him when we qualify for the Champions League, and Brodic falls further down the pecking order from there. Rodrigo to Nuhu to Jokic. Decent effort, but straight into the Bournemouth defender. Bournemouth have now reverted to a much more sensible looking tactic, by the way. It's not going to do them any good because we've already beaten them at this point. Couple are trying to get the ball across. This is where they come back and score 2 goals, because in the 88th minute I said we've beaten them, which is just a stupid thing to say, Kev. Jokic now, right down the right-hand side. Cross comes in towards Kieran Kerr, who misses an absolute sitter again. I do acknowledge, by the way, that we are completely mugging Bournemouth at the moment. 4 clear-cut chances to them, 2 for us. One of them was that one from Kerr just now. Naylor fires it into the Bournemouth defender. We're having a lot of possession and a lot of shots. And there is Jokic, and that's his first goal of the season, I think. So, it's his first senior goal, in fact. That just isn't true. We saw him score a couple of goals against Tottenham in the FA Cup last season, which is why he ended up in our Premier League squad. So I don't think FM knows what a senior goal is. It's certainly his first league goal. There you go. Jokic, who becomes English next summer, or certainly becomes homegrown. So he's going to be incredibly important to our future. 5-star potential, still only 19 at the moment, and will become a homegrown player before he even turns 21. He's going to be very, very important for us. First of many, many goals you'll see from Jokic. And it goes wide. 4-1 away. This has been a proper performance. Obviously ignoring the fact that we've mugged them. But, you know, that's because I said at the start, the two teams were setting out to play their own way, neither of us trying to counter the other one, and it would just come down to who's better going forward. Well, we've just proven we're better going forward than Bournemouth are. Bournemouth are bottom of the league as well, so we probably shouldn't have let them have 5 clear-cut chances. A better team destroys us playing that system that day. But who cares? We won 4-1 away. Let's go beat Norwich now. One change for the Norwich game then. It's one I probably would have made anyway, but I was forced into it by an injury to Erhan. I think that's his 3rd injury since he's been here. I do worry we might have got someone who's a little bit injury prone here. So 4th injury, in fact, since signing. Tight groin, pulled ankle ligaments, bruised thigh, now twisted knee. Goodness me, we have an injury-prone one there. But Nuhu comes into the team at the expense of him. Those of you wondering what's going on with Twan, who obviously went back to Arsenal, he immediately got injured himself and hasn't played a game for Arsenal yet. So I am absolutely keeping tabs on him. And if the opportunity comes back to bring him back in January, either on loan or, I mean, we've only got 12 million quid. Maybe we'll swap him for Brodic. But I would still very much like to have Twan back in the team. As I would Fazio, who's now being paid £250,000 a week to play for Brighton in the Championship, but he didn't have a relegation release clause or a relegation wage cut clause. So I think not only is he playing for them when he should be playing for us, but he's also bankrupting them as well, I imagine. But I think we've probably got a better player in the shape of Caminero anyway, and Rodrigo also looks a little bit special. And he's probably another one like Twan, who it's unlikely we'll get him on loan again next season because he looks very, very good. But I don't mind if we have these little one-season wonder young English players come in, Twan and Rodrigo, who are both English, despite the fact neither of them were born in England. But because they were scooped up by big English clubs so early, they actually have English nationality by the time they meet the first team squads. Which is this the future of English football? I mean, it's not. I thought you weren't allowed to do stuff like that. I'm pretty sure. Let me know down in the comments. Have the rules changed, or has Football Manager just got the rules wrong? But it feels a little bit like cricket with all these foreign players becoming English and playing for England. But I mean, it does mean England have got some good players like Twan and Rodrigo who are coming through. We've done nothing at all in that first half, by the way. We need to sort ourselves out in the second half. I've had media reports, because it's about to be the the international break, about two of my players who aren't getting into international teams anymore, Joksimovic and Wanda. I don't understand why. There's all this talk of because we're not a big club. Is this really the effect that not being in the Europa League this season has had on us? We're now... some of our star players now don't play for their countries because we didn't qualify for the Europa League. What a goal from Nuhu again. Brilliant from Jones down the right-hand side. And Kerr's there, ready to tuck it away. And Nuhu just pushes him out the way. Look, Kieran, get lost. You haven't scored yet this season. This is Nuhu land. Here I come. That was excellent from Jones. Jones is going to be a superstar. Cross comes in and Nuhu just... That's Kerr plus another. I don't know who the other was. Maybe Caminero pushing forward. Possibly even Rodrigo. I don't know. I have no idea which one it was. None of them have the right colour hair. So Kerr... I don't know. I'm so confused. Jones plays it into Kerr. And Kerr, that was rubbish. Again. I really think we might have to drop him. We are going to take him off in a minute. We'll give him to the 65-minute mark that we let Jones have in the last game, because that seems to have sparked some life into Jones, who's certainly in this second half has been excellent. Nuhu now with a free kick. Crosses towards Rodrigo. Caminero's there. And I think that might be his first goal for us. It is his first ever Nuneaton goal. He's still in the Argentina squad, by the way. So, or in fact, new into the Argentina squad. Both him and Sanchez got called up into the Argentina squads for the first time and have both made their debuts. So weirdly, Brazil and Serbia see Nuneaton as, can't pick Nuneaton players for our squads. Argentina are like, oh wow, these two lads have signed for Nuneaton. Let's call them. I mean, Sanchez in particular he was a Man City bench warmer. Now he's a Nuneaton bench warmer, and apparently that's the difference to get you into the Argentina squad. Right, we're going to bring Jokic on again. Because I want game time into Jokic. Jokic is very much my third choice as far as I'm concerned. We might take Wanda off in a minute as well. He's not having the best of games, but we'll give him 5 more minutes. Rodrigo across to Coupler. Coupler plays it back in field to Rodrigo, who's just settled in brilliantly. You can't believe Rodrigo's only 19. Jokic cross towards Jones, who can't quite turn it back towards goal. It was a little bit too long for him. He forced him too wide. But we will now make another change. And that change is going to be Wanda coming off and Kovacevic coming on. Have we seen anything of Kovacevic yet this season? Let's just shuffle the midfield around. Kovacevic is another one who's still only 19. He's going to be classed as homegrown from the end of this season and not played yet this year because he started the season with a bit of an injury. But this needs to be the year that Kovacevic emerges. We've just said about Rodrigo. He's only 19. Would you believe he's only 19? Look how good he is. Well, Kovacevic is the same age. Rodrigo's played just about every game for us so far. There's no reason why Kovacevic shouldn't if he's going to be as good as Rodrigo is. So this has got to be the season where Kovacevic forces his way into this team and emerges as a proper player for us. Ashley Hayes is sat there looking at all these youngsters in midfield for us thinking, I was part of the best midfield in this club's history. Why am I now an afterthought? I'm sorry, Ashley. We've got some good youngsters now. Nuhu now with a penalty to put us 3-0 up on 76 minutes. Nuhu's going to push. He's played 3 games and he's probably already our top scorer. He's catching up with Jones just because he scores goals for fun. I don't understand. Nuhu is so overpowered and I love the fact that he still plays for us. I don't understand how he does. Man United have been linked with him in the summer but didn't make an offer. And yeah, we'll keep you for another year, Enoch. Don't you worry about that, sir. Right, Caminero has picked up a knock, so we'll just take him off as a precaution. McAllister can come on, and we'll just shuffle the midfield around a little bit again to accommodate Jim McAllister in there, and hopefully cruise through to another comfortable victory. It'd be nice to see Nuhu grab a hat-trick, score 4 goals twice in one episode. I said this was an episode where we needed to win some matches, and we've won some matches. Wolves are top of the league. Goodness me. We're only 2 points off the top ourselves. Hey, I tell you what, we're talking about a Champions League push. Should we go and win the league? We're not going to win the league. We are going to try and finish. We're aiming for 4th. 4th is our goal this season. And hopefully we do find a way to keep this form going and grab that 4th place spot. But that was another good result. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.